Nation, the sports animal.
10 a.m. in the morning, she's
Just like damn.
Now,
It's 7 a.m.
it's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
You can't pitch at altitude. The balls fly. It's going to be the highest scoring All-Star game ever. Balls are going to be hit 800 feet. Really? 5-2. Sounds like any other baseball game I watch at sea level. Entertaining. Not great. Not horrible. American League wins for the 8th straight time in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is your most valuable player. He hit a pretty long home run, 465 feet. But for the most part, I think they proved you can pitch at Coors Field. At least guys can go out and throw for an inning. What's up, y'all? Merry whatever day it is. I believe it to be Wednesday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. How you living?
Living good. What it do?
Do a lot. Watched Little All-Stars last night?
Indeed.
What if only if the NBA All-Star or the NBA Finals would have been on last night. I mean, I don't know why we need 3. Then you could have watched them both. That have made your life better? Sorry. See, I don't need to start.
Had the split screen going.
Why do I got to be a bitterman? Entertaining. It was all right. Right? I mean, good moments when they introduced Nolan Arenado. I don't know that Joe Buck needed to. All right, Denver. Okay, Colorado. Here he is. I mean, I think they knew he was coming. For the PA thing. But honestly, my favorite, I always love the All-Star introductions anyway. I don't know why. I think my favorite moment of the night was when Nolan Arenado was introduced and Rocky fans got to show their appreciation. I think, because I don't know that anything else stood out to me.
I think Vladimir Guerrero's shot when they were talking with Tatis was
just
funny. He's just like, oh, man.
Yeah.
That was neat, and it's a tight game, and we've seen that recently with the way these pitchers just are able to go all out in one inning. And it was a different feeling because the Rockies did host the Cardinals a couple weeks ago. And so Arenado...
But not on a national stage like this, right?
Not on a national stage. But, Arenado was able to have that ovation, and Colorado fans have responded well to that situation. They respect what he did for that franchise, the type of player who he is. But it was good to see that moment on a national stage because it was kind of a reminder to baseball fan just how good he was and what he meant to that franchise. I thought still the Shohei Ohtani story was cool to see him start the game and then lead off. And just the overall couple days for baseball, it was a win. Ohtani became the buzz of the game. I don't know if he's the face of baseball, but the one thing I hope is that he inspires a new generation of baseball players. Because I'm right there with you. I know the conversation we go back and forth about certain players not doing things. Like, we're not all of a sudden going to see a bunch of guys be able to do what he's doing because it's unbelievable. But, maybe we'll see more guys be better at hitting RC. Maybe if I do something crazy like this, I can get to Major League Baseball. But just have that joy, have that passion, again, for the game. Because anytime you see Shohei Ohtani, and he's on camera, he's doing an interview, he's just always smiling. Yeah. And he's happy and he's enjoying life.
I'll give that to a lot of this younger generation players. And Ohtani's like 27. He's not a kid. Tatis is young, and some of these guys are young. But so many of them have smiles on their face. So what it might do, and because I agree with you, I got to open the floodgates, and you're going to see a bunch of guys like him. We haven't seen it ever. Like, baseball's been around for 150 years. Like, we've never seen this guy. Babe Ruth pitched a little, but it's not like, he wasn't even this guy. Like, we've never seen this. It might open the door. It might allow an organization, when there's a special talent like that, and I think it's going to be rare, JJ, where a guy doesn't have to decide right at college that I've got to be a pitcher or I can be a fielder, player, hitter, everything else. All right? Maybe I can be utilized. Maybe a college coach along the way is going to say, you know what? He's a damn good third baseman, and he can pitch, and Ohtani's doing it at that level. Why can't he do it here? I think maybe it opens the door for a few. Not a lot, but a few. And maybe we see something like that again. To your point on the joy of the game, all of these young stars, man, they smile. They seem happy. There's so few bitter Kurt Schillings, and you know what I mean? There's just, who's Bitterman? Everybody's smiling. And I guess the answer is, what's to not smile about? right? You're up in Denver on a beautiful Monday and Tuesday, having fun coming out of a pandemic, getting to do something that you love. Like, what's not to be happy about and smiling about for any of these guys? What's not to enjoy? And so that we'll go back, we'll play baseball, and we'll run down the stretch. Absolutely a win for baseball. Absolutely a win for baseball. And you know, good on you for everybody knowing their role. And I'll go back to that email yesterday, which is still just ringing in my ear, and I'm scratching my head. You know, for the NBA to get out of the way, right? Because you'd have split it. The bottom line is, when that happens, nobody would have been the winner. The NBA tonight, nor the All-Star game. You'd have split the audience, and nobody would have won. And so good on them for getting out of the way. I just watched my 15-year-old. It's weird to say my 15-year-old. My 15-year-old, she's like, Dad, baseball's so cool. Like, she was watching last night. She's like, I really like baseball. Baseball's so cool. I'm like, it is. But how much of that generation is saying that? Getting exposed to it. And look, it's little by little, man. It's not like she's going to watch a game every night. I don't think she's picking up a glove and she's got her game. She's not starting to play baseball. But it's got to start. And we've been doing this for years, watching the All-Star game and going ball games. She loves it. But that's where it was. I just thought it was a good show for a game that has done almost nothing right over the last 2 years. And if you want to rip them on the uniforms, knock yourself out. They're freaking uniforms. Like I get it, man. They weren't great. And it was the first time, I think, ever that they all wore the same uniform, right? The All-Star game has always been, in this case, would have been nationally, wear your home whites, and the American League, wear your road grays or blues or whatever, not your softball uniforms. And that was the uniform. And I actually kind of like that. And these would be for, like, the skills competition. I see what they did. I don't have a problem with it. They're freaking uniforms. Like, yeah, I think they missed. They weren't great, but really, like, that's the talk of it. I think people miss the point.
They weren't eyesores, and I think for Major League Baseball, it's capitalize on these moments in a big way. A lot of people aren't all of a sudden, just going to start watching a ton of regular season baseball, but you need to win these moments. You need to get good ratings here when the playoffs come around. Yeah. You need to hope that some of these guys are in the postseason, whether it's Fernando Tatis, Vlad Guerrero Jr., teams that are in the postseason race right now, and you get people interested in the stars because that will help carry the game. And Ohtani is one of those dudes. And by the way, I know there's a lot of talk too of Bryce Harper and Mike Trout. Those guys aren't done. They're still good baseball players. Now, they didn't become like the face of baseball and inspire an entire new generation, but you're seeing you mix them in with the international superstars, and that is great for the game.
I think there is one thing that baseball's got to, I don't know if address is the right word, but how do you market? There was a lot of anonymity to a lot of the All-Stars. Who were the guys from the White Sox? Who are those guys? Whoa, okay. Who was like Jared Walsh, who made the catch out in left field for the Angels? Who's that guy? Plays with Trout and Ohtani. Why are they so crappy? Why were there no Astros? Who are these guys? 2 starters from the Pittsburgh Pirates, right? I mean, I think there's an anonymity issue. The guys from the A's, and because they're you don't watch them. Where in the NBA, I think you see, first of all, there's so few of them, and so those are the highlights you see on SportsCenter every night. I honestly, I don't even have a suggestion for it. There was the gap in recognition and star power between Aaron Judge and Ohtani and Tatis and some of these top guys to some of these guys that you watch in the back innings of the game. I don't know how to close that, and I don't know how
I don't think you can. Yeah. Like, you're not like Brian Reynolds, Adam Frazier aren't going to be stars. They're good baseball players, but you're not going to be stars on the Pittsburgh Pirates. But I thought John Smoltz, Joe Buck did a good job when those guys came to bat, describing their season and what makes them so good, why Reynolds and Frazier are guys that are hitting over 300 in this game where we see it's either home run or strikeout. I think they presented that very well. And when you look at some of these other guys, you had Mookie Betts coming in, Chris Taylor, so you had your Dodgers in there late. And
Justin Turner.
Justin Turner. So, those were recognizable names, and got a little jeered, which I actually did appreciate.
No,
it showed, you know what?
I did too.
Because the Rockies fan base does not get a lot of love. They are a team that when the Cardinals come to town or the Dodgers are in town, their stadium doesn't really sound like it's Coors Field for the Rockies. It sounds like it's there for the other team. So I kind of appreciate it that they gave them a little cheers too in the Giants were announced.
They should.
The Dodgers were announced. I thought that was fun, and you could see kind of the smirks on some of the guys' faces when they're running out during the introduction. So I liked that. It showed, hey, the Rockies, while Coors Field might get taken over at times during regular season, the fans were at least having some fun and making their presence felt in those moments.
Yeah. All right, Tommy, get us started. You're up first on the opening drive. Good morning, Tommy.
Hey, what's up, Tommy? The truth back at you guys. I thought the All-Star game was really good. I thought the festivities were good. My son and grandkids went to the celebrity game. But I will say this about the uniforms, because my grandkids watch the games. Younger kids are trying to get that demographics back.
Yeah.
All my grandkids thought the uniforms were ghastly. So, man, I love the game. I'm watching it, but those uniforms are ugly.
Yeah.
And if you want to get the younger demographics back, they're into stuff that looks good.
Yeah, no, they
So
swung and
maybe,
missed. They tried, and they missed.
Yeah. And maybe they can get some different type of uniforms, or just go back to let the players wear from their team. I still think
That's the
wearing
answer.
it from their team uniform,
Yeah.
they should just go back to that. Maybe they will. But that's old school, and that's me. And then the thing about players choosing not to play, you know what I'm going to say about that. Unless you're sick or injured, you should play in the game. And that's just me, because even my son was going, well, where's this guy? Where's this guy? Where's this guy? I go, they didn't want to play. And you want to get the younger demographics back, and if they're looking at some of these younger players and they're not in the game or the stars, that's not a good way to try to get baseball back with the younger groups. I think in any of the all-star games, whatever sport it is, unless you're hurt or injured or sick or something, you should be playing. So
Right on. Thanks, man. Look, I think the answer is go back to the team. Like that, of all the things you tried to fix, that was one that wasn't.
I didn't notice that at all last night.
Yeah.
Like
It never went by.
I saw it pop up,
I know.
and I'm a uniform guy, and I was like, yeah, I'm not buying into this, because you know what? It wasn't off. It was one team was wearing white, one team was wearing navy blue.
They're Braves colors. They bought them for the Braves.
Yeah. But it didn't feel like it was totally off. Like it was this outrageous, like neon uniform, something
Which the kids would have loved.
on the field. Which, yeah, the kids would have loved, but then
Right.
everyone else would have been complaining anyway.
We'll get more into it. It's 505-246-0610 to get to us today. Stephanie's producing this morning on the radio side. Looks like Alden on the TV side on ProView Networks, bringing it to you, ProViewNetworks.com, and on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. Mortgage rates remain near all-time lows, but what the but, Jeff? Why a but? They can't stay this low forever. You need to act now. You could be paying a whole lot less for your home every single month. This really is a true statement, because interest rates remain near historic lows. They will not last forever. You've got to take action now and call American Financing. As a homeowner, one of the worst things you can do is miss out on a lower interest rate, because a lower rate can mean hundreds of dollars in monthly savings, plus tens of thousands of dollars in long-term savings. So you can lower your payment, you can shorten your term, you can consolidate debt, you can even access cash. Whatever you need, American Financing can help. Lower your rate, take money back with help from American Financing. Could save up to $1,000 a month. Wouldn't that make a difference for you? When you choose American Financing, you don't have to reset your loan term. You can choose any term, 10 years and over, because you should not pay interest on years you don't need. Call American Financing and get started. You'll get pre-qualified for free when you call 423-551-6525. That's 423-551-6525, or visit AmericanFinancing.net at MLS 1823334 and MLSConsumerAccess.org.
Jeff Jarrett is colorful, to say the least, and he knows a lot of colorful people. Hear all about it on My World with Jeff Jarrett.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car
Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120 volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Cade Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs.
The uniforms, you missed out. You missed the point. Were they great? They weren't great. Were they horrible? I don't know. Maybe. Were they offensive? Hardly. They were Braves colors. I guess they bought the uniforms when it was still going to be in Atlanta. That was one thing. Typically, it's the colors of the home team. So the hats were.
It didn't scream Atlanta.
It didn't.
It was just it's kind of red, white, and blue.
Yeah, right. Whatever, man. I do agree with Tommy. I think the best representation of your team is your uniform. That was something about an All-Star game. Pete Rose rolling over Ray Fosse in their uniforms. Reggie Jackson hitting that long home run at Tiger Stadium in his A's uniform. There's something to the representation of the team. As a kid, I always loved seeing my hometown, my favorite team, their uniform at the All-Star game. That wasn't broke. I don't know that this worked. No matter what you did with uniforms, you weren't going to make everybody happy. And I really feel the people who are complaining vehemently on social media
that's not the people they're trying to connect with.
Right.
They're already the baseball purists.
Right.
And the diehards in it. So like, well, we don't need to change this. Well, the thing about the All-Star game is these are when you do try these things.
Yep.
Is, all right, maybe this style didn't work. I did like some of the flair, the socks, the gloves that we saw, little things like that, which are the attention. But it's not necessarily just the uniform. It's the moments, and it's presenting the highlights. And you talk about getting younger, it's what you can do on social media. It's getting these personalities out there. Someone like, Tim Anderson, who's one of my favorite players last year, and now seeing kind of the challenge that he has with Chicago and the White Sox, Tony La Russa, and the issues that they've had early in the season. But getting guys like that, Tatis, Vlad Guerrero, those moments, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it may be, those are the little things you do that start connecting, because in this regional game, you need to have your moments. And last night was one of those chances.
And I do think also, how do you showcase these guys that aren't those guys but are all-stars? Because, again, I think the anonymity factor in some of this, wow, who are I follow baseball, not tick, 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 tick like, but I watch baseball. Now, granted, I haven't watched enough Indians games or Tigers games or Pirates games, or maybe I have watched enough, but Pirates games. But who are some of these guys, and how do they do that? And I agree with you. Look, Joe Buck gets knocked all the time, and I think Smoltz is a terrific analyst. Joe Buck does a nice job. There's a reason Joe Buck is Fox's #1 guy and has been that way for 2 decades. Joe Buck, like you might not like him personally or whatever, but I think he does a pretty nice job calling a game. I think he's thorough. I think he's prepared, and I think he tells a story. And I think he did a nice job with it yesterday. All right, other baseball stuff. And here's how to get in. I guess we should give you phone numbers. 505-246-0610. That's the NMDOT text line, as well as the Quan's Auto Care hotline. So you can call or text 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. And on the Facebook, the OD in the AM, you can watch the show there. All this is produced on ProView Networks. And follow JJ on the Twitter. It's _ JJ Buck. Baseball is, by all reports, leaning towards getting rid of this 7-inning doubleheader rule and the extra inning rule starting a man on second base. I think almost everybody is for getting rid of the 7. If you're going to play a doubleheader, there's 7 innings. I am. I mean, it's a Major League Baseball game, and there's 7-inning games. Like this is, it's wonderful in high school. It's wonderful in even in college. It's professional baseball. Play baseball. It's a 9-inning game. The runner at second base, people have really. This is. I feel the pendulum's shifting towards people liking it. Don't you?
Yes. The 9 innings, if you schedule day-night doubleheaders, play baseball, I'm with you. They've already, added the extra man. I think if you going forward, you can have the conversations of doing little things like that. Maybe you even go to 28-man rosters, whatever you need. If you go back to 9 innings, they get a couple extra bullpen arms in there for those days. But the runner on second in the regular season, I'm fine with it. Maybe if you want to push it back an inning and say you play 10, 11, and then get out there in 12th, but.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Start that in the 12th inning. It's kind of like the 2 points.
Baseball guys even tell you, it's still baseball, but at some point in time in the regular season, you don't need to be playing all these extra inning games, and it doesn't usually happen. But when you do,
is that rule in effect now for the playoffs?
I don't believe it's a postseason rule.
So it's just they're going to play a different tiebreaker in the playoffs than they do currently in the regular season,
as they do in most sports.
Do they?
Hockey doesn't play 8,000 overtimes.
In the regular season. Yeah, but I think that's the only one, isn't it? Everybody else kind of sticks to what they do. I'm okay with it. I just didn't know.
Football, you're not going to end in a tie.
Yeah, but it's the same format. But yeah. Not going to end in tie, but it's the same format. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. I like your suggestion. Play the first 2 innings, and then starting in the 12th, you put a man on second base. It's like the overtime in college football, which I think they just tweaked for this year, if I'm not mistaken. But after this, in the third overtime, you have to go for a 2-point conversion when you score a touchdown. I'm down with that. But that's the feel is that's where this is going. Are you're good with all that?
I'm good with that. It's a lot of the people say it's baseball, play it out. Like, you're not even involved in those games. You're not watching those games. It's one where I don't think it ruins the game. It doesn't hurt the sport, because once you get to the postseason, you're back to, all right, there's not a runner on second and goes to extras. Here you are, you're trying to find a way to get through 100 some odd games.
Well, Usually the people who are complaining aren't the ones involved. It's like the Koepka DeChambeau thing. You're not involved in the game. You say, I don't care how slow DeChambeau is playing, right? It doesn't bother me. It's the same thing. It's baseball played out. Those
a lot of
people aren't involved.
Baseball guys, and we've talked to Warren Schaefer about it, to Terry Francona yesterday. A lot of them don't mind it. It's what they don't want is banning the shift or things like in play that start affecting.
Do you like the shift? I despise it.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It like we had this conversation before. Like it blew my mind when like basketball, like it was like, oh, you can't play a zone defense. Like it's that stuff kind of. That's what bothers me the most, as opposed to a runner starting in second.
And I don't know why I despise it. Like there's no reason I should. And I love when I see a guy poke it the other way through an open left side or right side of an infield. I love that. Or, a left-handed hitter comes up and just pokes one the other way. Love it. And there's no reason I should despise it. And honestly, I don't think it should be outlawed. I mean, I see no reason why. Okay, let me ask you this. And I learned this literally 3 weeks ago at the state tournament. So a team applies a shift, okay? They keep everybody in place, but they bring the third baseman out into right center field, okay? Which has happened, which is pretty common. The shortstop stays with short. And it's a line shot, which would typically be a base hit, line shot to right field, and the third baseman picks it, takes it on 2 hops and throws to first. How do you score that play? Like in the scorebook, the official score. Do you know how to score that?
Is it scored differently?
It's scored 5-3. It's scored a ground out to the third baseman. But
you have to mark a note.
I guess to differentiate, just so you would know. But like when you go back in history, 10 years later, he grounded out to the third baseman, huh? And he did nowhere near third base. I didn't. Just a side note. I had no idea. In fact, I asked the official score at the state tournament that question, and the guy sitting next to me, I said, I didn't know that. Who's also a score guy.
Well, because you're not going to invent a position.
Yeah, no, I didn't know how to score it, but it doesn't. But by no means does it tell the story of that game, or that at bat. Doesn't tell the story of that at bat. Yeah, it tells you ground out to that guy, but yeah, the player keeps his position number theoretically, even though he moves around the field. Yeah. Just a little. I didn't know, just flat out. And I'm thinking, well, how else would you do it, right? But I don't know. All right, so you're for that. 505-246-0610. When we come back, a couple of Lobos and an in-state product get drafted to play Major League Baseball as the draft ended yesterday. Tell you who and where. We'll get into the NBA, which resumes tonight. Big stories there. USA Basketball back on the floor yesterday. You feel better? Nigeria whooped that team, too. If that makes you feel better, though. 505-246-0610. I trust International Protective Service. IPS to watch my home. Have for years now. You've seen their cars, their vans, their vehicles rolling around town. It says IPS on. You probably wonder, what is that? International Protective Service is a private security company. Trained, armed security officers who are not going anywhere. Not being sold. They are committed. Aaron Jones owns the company. He's committed to making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work. Let them let them watch your home. Let them watch your business and trust them to protect what's important to you. Do not wait until the bad guys break in and take your stuff. Then it's too late. I know you've thought about it. Well, do I really need it? Do you need it? I don't know. I mean, what's your peace of mind worth? What's peace of mind worth to you? What's your security worth to you? Call them. There's no long-term contracts. I've trusted IPS for years. Go out of town, call them. They go by. If you want to pick up the mail, the newspapers, roll your garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day, they will do that. Your home will have a lived-in look. International Protective Service. Give them a call at 505-897-2420 or visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
Clark's Pet Emporium is committed to your safety with curbside pickup and free delivery in the Albuquerque.
As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. And That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there. 1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra messed us with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
And he brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One nothing Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles play long ball. Put over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Pretty 321st overall for Silseth, so he'll be in the Angels organization. Mac Chambers, the Lobo shortstop, went in the 11th round also. 331st, 10 picks later to the St. Louis Cardinals. And then Lobo pitcher Justin Armbruster, 12th round, 347th overall, to the Baltimore Orioles. And it's all right. Look, we watched Trevor Rogers in the All-Star game.
Yes,
Gave up a couple of runs last night. From Carlsbad, New Mexico. He was a first-round pick by the Marlins a couple of years ago, and now he was in the All-Star game last night. I think he's one of those guys, when I talk about the anonymity factor on the national level, that's a guy that they could work with. Good for those guys as the draft went through. So this just came through, and I know this is a big deal. Messi's new deal, he agrees with Barcelona and took a big cut Did you see this just come down?
Yes.
All right, so 5 years with Barcelona, and it is worth, he took a pay cut, a little over $594 million. Is that what I'm reading? I mean, it's
that was his previous contract.
The old one was. Okay, what's the new one worth?
I don't know. I don't know the numbers off the top.
347 looks like. All right, he took a big pay cut. So that's a pretty big deal?
It is a big deal because Barcelona was dealing with some financial issues in terms of fair play rules and then stuff that was going on within their organization. They've been struggling to find a president. There's been a lot of back and forth, and not just with Messi, but overall player acquisitions on the squad. And you look at where Messi is, 34 years old, still a good player, but it's a situation you wonder, is he still going to be that dude in a few years? But what you're doing is you're locking in one of the greatest players of all time. He's staying with the franchise, the marketability, the impact that he's going to have. And it's a good step for Barcelona fans because there's a lot of concern of, was he going to stick around? Was he ready to move on? And what is their financial situation going to look like?
All right, so that just came down this morning. By this time tomorrow, we're going to be almost done with the first round. The Open Championship, the British Open in golf, begins. I think they're teeing off about 11:40 our time tonight is when it all starts. So if you want to stay up all night and watch that, knock yourself out, you can do that and get that done. All right, NBA stuff. We're back at the finals tonight. Suns and Bucks, they'll be in Milwaukee. Of course, the Bucks won the last game big at home, cut the lead to 2-1. 2 days off, they're back at it tonight. Everybody seems healthy. I don't know if I look at it and that was an aberration. I do believe the Bucks win tonight. I think it's a closer game.
I'm with you on Milwaukee evening this series. I'm really looking forward to Devin Booker's performance. Of course, it starts with what they do offensively to get those shots. I think he's going to perform better. But can Milwaukee sustain this defensive effort? That's been the one frustrating thing with this team defensively is the roller coaster ride that they've been on. Because Phoenix has shown you offensively their efficiency can be outrageous. And just with Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, those guys attacking the switches, playing Devin Booker hard, can they do it in back-to-back games?
Yeah, it's going to be on the offense and the backcourt, too. I think you talk about the defense. I think offensively, can their backcourt continue to score? Because that was the problem in Phoenix. So we can get there if you want. The news came out late last night, I think it was late last night. Kawhi Leonard had surgery, or is having surgery, on his knee, the ACL. It was a partial tear that kept him out. No timetable for his return. He heard it in Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. We saw when he kind of tweaked it. He missed the final 8 playoff games for the Clippers, and it was being called a sprained knee, a sprained knee, a sprained knee. And we kept seeing Kawhi. Nobody talked about it. Nobody talked to Kawhi. Nobody got into it. But the feeling throughout the whole thing is, yeah, Kawhi's done. He's not coming back. He's not coming back this year. He's not coming back this year. And so the Clippers are now going to the offseason with his health a concern. His future is a concern. He's got a player option on his contract. He can choose to opt out or in. Steph, if he walks away, he's only guaranteed $36 million next year. So can he go out and get more somewhere else? And the answer is probably yes. So I don't know. Would you walk away from a deal that paid you $36 million next year?
Yes.
I think he's going to too. Yeah.
Because anytime people say that, people freak out, and it's like Kevin Durant signed a monster coming off an Achilles injury. Kawhi Leonard's going to opt out. He's going to re-sign with the LA Clippers.
Yep. Steph, let me give you the numbers that he'll re-sign for. It'll be 5 years at $181.5 million. What does that average out to?
A lot.
That's a lot. I think that's exactly where it's going to go. He will opt out, and he'll become a free agent, and he'll do the dance, and he'll end up re-signing right where he. I firmly believe that.
He's going to do a dance.
You don't think so? You think it just goes?
Where's he dancing to? Everyone would want to sign Kawhi Leonard, but I don't think he wants to go anywhere else.
That was the whole point of him being where he is being home, right?
Yes.
Being in Southern California. 181 million. What is it, 181 and a half? I'm trying to get you I don't even know how to put 181 million, 0.5 into numbers. I think that's right. So divided by how many years? 5? Let's just say it's okay. What it is it averages out to about the same number, 36.3 million a year. But it'll be guaranteed for 5 years. He's got 1 year left. If he stays in, he only gets it for 1 year. If he opts out and signs, he gets 36 million for the next 5 years. I know. I love seeing the faces. But to JJ's point, market value, right? It's market value.
That's a steal for Kawhi Leonard. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
There's people.
He's not like
not making $43 million a year.
How is he not at $200 million?
I don't know. I honestly don't understand how that's the number either.
This has something to do with bird rights or all those things.
Because he's moved around a bit. Well, what's Chris Paul going to go sign for?
I'm thinking 100.
100 million for what, 3 years?
That was the initial report.
And he's
camp was looking for.
He's due to make $42 million next year, right? He's due to make $42 million next year. Chris Paul is and may walk away from that. He's 36 years old, and he's going to bank that somebody's going to give him $100 million over 3 years. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. But that's back at it tonight. We'll get into USA and Argentina and what that means, and honestly, what it doesn't mean. We'll do that coming up.
Become a superstar in your own life. F45 functional training, high intensity training in just 45 minutes that can help you reach your goal or feel your best. And with high intensity training, I felt my best when I incorporate that into my workout routine, along with everything else you do. And whether it's the pickup games, whether it's a traditional weightlifting, whether it's just living a busy life, when you get that 45 minutes of high intensity training in, it's going to give you that extra boost needed to attack everything else that you got going on throughout the week. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. You can take a look at the schedule of classes, what the classes are all about, what high-intensity training is. Sign up for your 7-day free trial. Get in and get going. What I love about the program is the variety of things you do throughout the week. There's cardio-based classes, there's strength-based training, but it is full-body functional fitness, head to toe. You're going to be hitting so many different movements in just 45 minutes. And you might not realize what you can do in 45 minutes, but you can do a lot, and it is a fantastic workout. So check them out, f45training.com. Download the app today. You have 45 minutes to get it done. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Staples Connect has great prices.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm
Going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience.
David Bakhtiari, the Packers player, who is legendary for sitting courtside and chugging beers. During the home game last Saturday, there was a fan who was sitting courtside wearing a Bucks Bakhtiari jersey, and they put him on the big screen, and he slammed a beer. And so it points to Bakhtiari, and the big guy stands up, and he's legendary there, and the place goes nuts, and he slams 2 of them. You know, does, oh, let's go, that's the thing. And then Bakhtiari's dad is sitting right next to him, and that fella gets up, and he did a pretty nice job too, didn't he? Slamming that beer. And Dad's just, let's go. It's got to be someone's show, isn't it? Let's go. screaming, let's go. That's the thing now. That's my favorite part of the finals. All right, USA Basketball beat Argentina 108-80. I guess it makes you feel better because they had gotten beaten 2 games in a row. They lost to Australia the day prior. They lost to Nigeria over the weekend, and people were losing their bleeping minds and may get suspended over losing their bleeping minds over the way it all went down. So good job, good effort. They beat a team. Let me give you a little perspective. The Argentina team that they beat yesterday was also blued out by Nigeria a couple of days ago. This isn't incredibly impressive, but at least it's progress, I believe.
This is what you expect to see.
Yeah.
I think the Nigerian line was off. It's as simple as that.
Evidently.
You look at Team Nigeria and the players that they have, that's a pretty good basketball team. I don't think that Team USA at that point in time was actually 30 points better than that squad. It was evident that they lost, but I think it's one where if you just heard about the line and, oh my gosh, they were 29.5-point favorites and they lost, I think that's one where they got it wrong.
Well, obviously. Yeah, obviously they did. I just don't know what here's what it doesn't mean to me. It doesn't mean everything's fine. Now, I don't think everything's is horrific and, oh my goodness, they're going to lose and we got to blow up USA Basketball. And I think people lose their mind over this stuff, okay? I feel like I've always got to remind people, the other guys, they're putting money into their program too. The other guys have players and coaches and guys who want to win too. And you don't get to just roll out the ball and put USA on your chest and you win. And the retort to that is, Jeff, have you looked at that roster? That's Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal and go down the list, right? JJ, there's something to that. There's Jason Tatum and there's Zach LaVine and there's something to, well, those guys maybe they should be able to just roll out the ball and beat some of these teams. But the rest of the world is playing catch-up. Have you watched the NBA? Have you watched the international inclusion, the international makeup? I mean, did you watch the All-Star game last night? Baseball's not just your game anymore. It's an international game. Baseball. Basketball's not incredibly different. While it's not as international in the NBA as Major League Baseball is, it's quite international. I mean, look at Philadelphia. Their two best players are not from the United States of America. And they were the number one seed in the East, right? You just go up and down. Here's what it doesn't mean to me. It doesn't mean to me that the United States is not the favorite for the gold in Tokyo. I still expect them to win the gold in Tokyo.
They're still the favorites. Team USA Basketball is unbroken. What you saw was just a slower build-up than usual. The assumption that these guys, as you said, can just roll out the ball and be better than everyone else, and that's not the case. And these are exhibition games, and I just really think that these guys were playing like they were exhibition games, going through the rotations, everyone from the front of the bench to the back of the bench, getting time to play in these games, and other exhibition games might have been much easier for this team. And it's an element of those guys are not playing to the level that they're going to play when they get to Tokyo, and the fact that everyone else, this is a game for them, whether it's exhibition or not, to play their best against Team USA. Like, that's the squad that you want to show what you have against.
Look, that made Nigeria's program, right? I mean, that validated everything that they're doing. Mike Brown, the former Cavaliers and Lakers head coach, Elijah's dad, however you want to, however you identify him. He's the coach of that Nigerian team. They put money into that. They put training into that. They put resources into that. And when they beat the United States, not on the Olympic stage, which okay, that's what they want, but they were able to go to Vegas and beat them the other day. That validated everything they're doing in that entire the program for that country, don't you think?
Yes. Yes, it did.
And they will live on that for a long time. 505-246-0610. The Open Championship starts. You're going to hear from Brooks and Bryson. Is that the best thing about the Open? I don't think so, but some people might. Going to get into Aaron Rodgers' situation. Lobo's got a pretty good quarterback committed yesterday. Best quarterback out of Arizona, not for this year's class, but for next year's class. Could he be the quarterback of the future? Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Stephanie produces on the radio side for you today. Gato Stefito? No, that doesn't sound right. Gata Steph. No, Gata. I'm just going to go with Stephanie. Alden on the TV side on ProView Networks. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM.
At stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacalm.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or Statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch that he struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall.
This is the opening drive with 2-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and JJ Buck.
All-Stars are in the books, 5-2 American League. It wasn't the Coors Field Bash-a-thon that everybody told me it was going to be. It was a 5-2 baseball game. That's what happens when you get pretty good pitchers emptying the tank and only having to go 1 inning. Go out and empty it. You don't have to save it. You don't have to pace yourself for 5 or 6. Go out and empty it for 1 inning. And then you go to a bullpen that's filled with all-stars, and I don't care where you are. It's hard to hit the ball out of the yard. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Stephanie produces on the radio side. Is that Josh now? They can just go to the bullpen? Called in the lefty? Look at that. It's like the All-Star game. You don't have to go throw. Everybody's going to throw one inning. Alden threw an hour. Now Josh is in for the second hour over on the ProView Network side, warming up his arm. All right. I got golf for you coming up. Aaron Rodgers, at some point, like we haven't mentioned Aaron Rodgers in a football sense, I want to say in 2 weeks. I think everything we've talked about Aaron Rodgers recently has been about golf because he played that match with Bryson, and that'll be a nice little merge. But at some point, Aaron Rodgers has to go to work, right? At some point, Aaron Rodgers, and Adam Schefter came out yesterday and said, Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to play for the Packers. No, really? No bleep. Like you're kidding. He doesn't want to be in Green Bay. They're not moving him. Aaron Rodgers did not hit the deadline to opt out for the season. Now, he can still not play. I don't think he's walking away from $36 million this year. He's been very coy. I do believe he dislikes the front office vehemently. I do believe he'd like to be traded. But I also believe that the Packers are going to make him feel as uncomfortable as he's making them feel. And they're playing this who's going to blink first chicken game. And at some point, Aaron Rodgers is going to have to go to work, right? And it's going to have to be fairly soon because camp's open here in a few weeks.
These are all the things I'm sure the Packers front office is still asking themselves, or what exactly is our relationship with Aaron Rodgers? What has their communication been? Because everyone assumes, we believe Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be there, but he hasn't gone on the power play just yet. He hasn't made it, boom, I'm not showing up, you better deal me. He's kept the door open enough where a lot of people still believe he's going to end up back in Green Bay. And I'm one of those people. I think Aaron Rodgers will be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, but he's a quarterback that I know Peyton Manning Monday was talking about. I know teams don't want to be in this situation in 3 weeks before camp starts. They know what's going to happen. No one wants to be here, but Aaron Rodgers is the type of quarterback that another team will still absolutely be in the conversation if they think there's a slim chance that he's available to make that move, even when training camp.
How many teams do you think we're down to at that point? Because at this point, we've had this conversation probably for 4 months now, right? And he's not going to Houston, although that would be really funny if they traded him to Houston for whatever reason. The Broncos feel to me like the only spot. Because at this point, where else? Chicago's figured it out. Detroit.
You wouldn't make that move anyway.
Right. But you wouldn't send him in division.
You'd sit on him.
But I'm thinking of the quarterback situations where there's a difference between would it be an upgrade or if you totally committed. Remember a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, whatever it was, I said, gosh, if I'm the Rams, I'm calling. Let them have Matt Stafford. Right? But at this point, the Rams are marketing the number 9 jerseys. They're selling the hell out of them. Like, they're committed to Stafford. They're not, and they've gone through OTAs. And it's a difference now that you've gone through some OTAs and you've kind of worked in a quarterback. Like, I think the Rams are out of that picture, whether or not they were ever in it. It feels to me there's only 2 places that it makes sense: Denver and Vegas. Do you see somewhere else? Yeah, I get it would be an upgrade in Atlanta. I get it would be an upgrade in Carolina. I get it would be an upgrade in a lot of places. But it feels like after these OTAs, everybody else is pretty much committed to the direction in which they are headed for this season. Now that we're a couple of weeks out, like I don't want the bleep show. Like you deal with it, except for in Denver and Vegas.
Well, I think once you make the move, it's not a bleep show anymore.
It isn't, but you have to completely reverse course on where you're going. So tell me where else does it fit? Washington.
It fits a ton of places.
Where else?
It fits in Houston. It fits in Carolina. It fits in. It's about compensation.
Okay.
And if the Packers make this move, they balance. Do we take on another developmental quarterback? But you have Jordan Love that you did spend a first-round pick on, or is it just get by veteran and a ton of assets and a standout defense player or an offensive player? And it's all of those things, but ultimately, where do they sit with Aaron Rodgers?
And that's the key.
And to me, if I'm the Packers, and it's gotten to this point, and even with Aaron Rodgers being coy and not sure, that story hasn't broken that he's not going to play for the Green Bay Packers.
That's correct. That is,
so
and that's why the answer.
That's my quarterback.
That's why the answer is that's my quarterback. Yeah. That's why the answer to me is I'm Green Bay. You know what? I'm not talking the Broncos and the Raiders and the Texans and Carolina. I'm just not.
And if you're the Packers, I think that's the way that you finally get to that answer. And I'm sure internally they've said that. They've communicated that. They're like, Aaron, you're our quarterback. And the longer you go, and if you're not dropping that bomb to the media, guess what? We're running it back.
Well, so what if he comes out and drops it now? Where he had all this offseason where he played this little game. Because honestly, I'm over Aaron's game. It's hard for me to feel bad for Aaron Rodgers at this point. You know what, man? I appreciate you didn't play it out in the media, and that's your thing. I wasn't going to play this in the media. Well, it played in the media because you were coy and you leaked just enough, right? Because there is a part of me appreciates him going, look, I'm not playing there, I'm not, and making this into a circus. It's a circus. You're one of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks of the generation. You were the MVP of the league last year. You're one of the highest profile players in the highest profile league in our country. And you're only going to make $36 million to go back and play for a pretty good football team next year. Like what's your issue? And now we're 2 weeks out, and it still isn't resolved. And you're playing golf all over America, and I'm watching you play golf more than I'm watching you throw a football, which is great. I love playing golf too. But at some point, I don't empathize with him anymore. We've had Packer fans call in and say, bleep him, he's got to go to work, and others say, the franchise has screwed him, and they haven't supported him, and they haven't given him this. They're doing their job. He's doing his job. He's paid to be a quarterback. And if I'm them, I'm with you. I'll listen to, if the Broncos call me one more time, and they want to send me Teddy Bridgewater, because I think that's what you need instead of Drew Lock if you believe in Jordan Love. And you want to send me 2 firsts and Jerry Jeudy and a defensive player, I'm listening. All right? But I'm not giving them away for pennies on the dollar. I'm not. I got Aaron Rodgers. Go to work for me, or you're not going to work for someone else because you're in a contract.
And to this point, the only concern I would have would be Devontae Adams, because this hasn't hurt the Packers yet.
Okay.
Packer fans are frustrated, but this hasn't hurt the Green Bay Packers yet.
So what are you going to do?
All those players are showing up.
Yes.
And the only time that we'll look back on it and say, well, Aaron Rodgers messed this whole thing up if he does not show up to training camp.
Which is, a couple weeks away. And, there's part of me that appreciates the coy that I'm not talking to the media. And everybody's asking, he was at the Tahoe thing the other day. Are you playing? Well, we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. Like he knew he was going to get asked that question. He had his answer. There's part of me that absolutely appreciates the way he's playing it, not throwing jabs in the media. Right? Because I think the majority of people in this situation do. So I appreciate it. But it shouldn't be this way at this point. And to say it's not a distraction, and I don't want to be a distraction, and he hasn't said that. Of course it's a distraction, dude. You're the MVP. Not only are you the quarterback, you're the MVP. You think you have all the cards. You honestly, you have a lot of them, but you don't have all the cards. You're under contract to play somewhere. I just, at this point, they've got to be grown-ups and figure this thing out. And I don't know what the compromise is. Is the compromise the GM and the president, I don't want him on my practice field? What is the compromise at this point? If he hates the front office so much, what's your compromise at this point? If you're the Packers, what are you throwing at him? What do you have in your back pocket? The answer is long-term, big-time money, right? Guaranteed $200 million over the next 4 years. That's the answer. Then Aaron Rodgers goes, all right, well, I'm going to make $200 million. I'm going to make $50 million a year over the next. All right, maybe I stay in Green Bay. Is that the answer?
Money helps, and you could always add a couple extra bucks, new signing bonus, redo the deal, get that guaranteed money up to where it doesn't destroy your salary cap. But hey, this guy is still worth the investment.
He's the MVP.
MVP. We don't expect him to fall off the face of the earth next year. What we're seeing
He's 36.
is unbelievable from these quarterbacks. They still have the athletic ability needed to compete. And I do not think it is a situation yet for the Packers, as frustrating as it's been, as upset fans are. I just don't see any way he's not the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
I agree with that. I agree with you. I agree with you. There was a point where I thought I was almost certain he was going to be the Broncos quarterback. And I would hold out like a 2% chance on that. But everybody's going to camp, man. Everybody did OTAs. Everybody's got their direction. You know how intricate the planning is and everything. Look, can it change? Would you blow up your plan to say, all right, I got Aaron Rodgers? Sure you would. Of course you would. But I don't know that I think at this and every day that it happens, I think the odds get slimmer and slimmer that he moves. 505-246-0610. I mean, you tell me how it works. You're Aaron Rodgers, what do you do? You're the Packers, what do you do? Because camp's starting in a couple of weeks. Emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Hey, don't waste your hard-earned money on high credit card rates. Instead, you can consolidate that debt with help from your mortgage. You could save up to $1,000 a month. That's why I'm encouraging you to call American Financing and do it today. When you consolidate debt, you're able to make one low monthly payment instead of all bunch of several different payments. Paying off your higher interest debts faster may also improve your credit rating. So here's the deal. Learn about the options to consolidate your debt with help from your mortgage by calling American Financing. You'll get a lower rate. You'll only have one manageable monthly payment to focus on. And again, it could save you up to $1,000 a month, plus tens of thousands of dollars in long-term savings. Imagine the difference that can make. Pick up the phone. Get a free mortgage review. Find out what you can save. There's no pressure. There's no upfront or hidden fees. You may even postpone 2 mortgage payments, but you've got to call American Financing, and you got to do it now. 423-551-6525. That's 423-551-6525, or visit them online, AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Carlisle and the Lomas intersection, police are on scene of an accident affecting southbound traffic. Expect delays in all directions. Also on Highway 550 in Bernalillo.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the 5th.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a... Oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Sports the latter part.
So, what do you do? I asked you that question. You're the Packers. What do? You ride it out? You're Aaron Rodgers. What do you do? At some point, you got to make a decision. It seems to be, and this is where it's not fair, because it seems to be that it's on Aaron to make a decision, but we don't really know what's going behind the scenes. I will give both sides this. Both sides, the Packers and the player. They've been relatively good about not playing this out in the media as hard as the media has tried to get comment. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
All right. David, good morning. How you living?
My idea of the compromise for Rodgers would be, look, you're not getting traded, you're not getting any more money. The compromise is you either play or you get benched. That's it. Ultimately, we're calling your bluff. If you want to walk, fine. If you want to sit, fine. No more money, no more trading talk. We can't get what you want for us, and the market's gone. You brought this up too late in the season. Everybody's got their thing except for the Raiders and the Broncos. And like JJ was saying, it's a package thing. So ultimately, how much would he get being an impact player on a team among his 2 Western things that he wants to play in? I would say, look, your compromise is you either play or you get benched. End of discussion. And we're listening to your response, but there's your seat, either on the squad or on the bench. Otherwise, my main reason for calling is I thought Puerto Rico was the team that knocked the USA Olympic team out of the one, causing them to win the bronze. But there was a 76 Puerto Rico team that in some tournament ultimately kicked USA out of whatever. What I'm hearkening back to is the reason the USA team went to the Dream Team, there was a strategic loss against the Russians, and ultimately everybody thought it was a bad call. And USA's approach was, well, we can't control officiating, so we're going to create this team that will blow out everything, not making it anywhere close, in which case it's not going to come down to a bad officiating call, in which case the Dream Team was thought to be all that heavily loaded. But whatever team it was, and that's my question, there was a team that beat the USA, causing them to then win the bronze in 92. Which team knocked them out of the thing, and who was on that USA team?
Okay. And I got some of that for you. Thanks. So the Russian team, the Doug Collins, the 1972 Munich Olympics, where the USA got beat in not Munich, in 72. Where was it? That was the team where they replayed the end 3 or 4 times until the Russians got the result. It was one of the most egregious things ever. And Doug Collins was on that team, and a bunch of guys, they still talk about how they got robbed. In Switzerland, August 15th, 2004, Puerto Rico blew out the United States 92-73 at the start of the Olympic tournament. This was in Greece. It was the first Olympic competition for an American team with NBA players. It was also just the 3rd loss in USA men's basketball Olympic history. Carlos Arroyo, the point guard, had 24 points, 7 assists for that Puerto Rico team. That was back, again, this was back in 2004. So if you recall back when the Americans lost to the Russians, those were college players. There was a point in I want to say the 80s, and I could find that even more specific, where the United States finally decided we're going to send our best. We were winning for years and years, sending college athletes, the amateurism thing, JJ. And then it was, well, the world's sending their best, and those guys aren't amateurs, and so let's start sending the Dream Team. And I believe the Dream Team was 92. Is that right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So the Dream Team was 92, and that's when really everything changed. But this was in 2004, and it was the first time that an American team with NBA players had got beat. Puerto Rico took control in the second quarter. They led 49-27 at halftime. I'm trying to see who else was on that team. Stephon Marbury was so Tim Duncan, Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, a young trio of future basketball icons: LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony. Wow. The Americans lost twice more They lost to Lithuania in the preliminary round. Argentina in the semifinals did reach the podium. They avenged their defeat, beating Lithuania in the bronze medal game. This was 2004. Puerto Rico followed Lithuania in the next game. They lost to Greece in the preliminary round and lost to Italy in the quarters that year. But look how young LeBron looks at this. I mean, it's just like, dang.
Baby Bron.
Yeah, baby Bron. So that's what you were, I believe that's what you were referring to, and how everything changed on USA Basketball. But it's what an interesting dynamic. What an interesting dynamic. All right, 505-246-0610. Let me get you a few emails you sent to Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Deutsch says the Hammer mix. Jeff, the other day I was listening to the all-new Jim Villanucci show, and he was giving Hammer a hard time over the songs on her iPod. They sounded pretty sweet. Maybe she can break them out for the OD. You getting a hard time by, was Uncle Jimmy giving you a hard time?
Yeah, he was doing the worst songs and all that, and I was like, this is like all my iPod playlist here.
Worst songs, go, hello. You're on 7 News Radio, go, hello. You're on News Radio, hello. Worst songs ever, go.
What are those worst songs?
Yeah. What were they?
Okay, so maybe some of them were bad to some people. Like Call Me Maybe.
Whatever. If you like them, they're good. What were your songs, man? Love what you love. What are they?
Well, he had Call Me Maybe, and now I can't remember, but that was the one that stood out the most.
Yep. Hey, did he share with you what's on his iPod?
No, he
or
did
his
not.
cassette player, whatever he's got in his car, his 8-track?
His 8-track.
Yeah, whatever he's got in his car. Did he share with you what he's rocking?
No,
yeah, of course he didn't. See, I'm on your side, man. I'm always gonna have your back, Steph.
Music bashing is one of the worst things there is. Like, if you don't like it, that's fine. But the same thing happened to you growing up. Your parents were like, oh, this is terrible music. Like, no, it's not. This is the greatest thing ever. And then you became that person.
Yeah, now you are that guy. Or that woman.
Music connects with who it connects with.
And that's why there's so many different genres and everybody's making money.
But I think in radio, too, like, you have to have an open mind of genres, too. You have to have a lot of likes.
But not, so I think that's fair, Steph, on the FM side. I think people in what we now call spoken word, like hot take radio, you have to tell me what I'm supposed to like. I won't do that to you. Like what you like, but people have to tell me what's crap. Oh, that's crap. That's this is great music, and that's crap. I don't know, man. If you vibe to it, it makes you feel better. If you rock to it and put it on your car and scream at it, and
once you learn that, life becomes so much more simpler.
I agree with you.
There's so many stupid times when you're a kid in like middle school, and you're like, "Oh, this music isn't cool to listen to." Are you hanging out with the rappers? Are you hanging out with the rockers? I want to listen to music.
That's right. That's right.
I want to listen to music.
No, and Steph, so your point, and JJ's point is dead on. Like what you like. On the FM side, and if you're in music, I agree with you. You're supposed to be open, and we all like what we like, and we have opinions. Oh, that's crap. But all right, my kid likes it, or my uncle likes it, or my friend likes it. But on this side of it, when everybody's got to have an opinion, it's got to be hot take. You got to tell me what's good and what's bad and what's crap. And really, dude, like what's on your 8-track, old man? Like what are you listening to? And because I hear it on this radio station, people tell me what's good and what's bad. I don't know.
Well, I think what brought it up was that he brought up some new music by Boy George and Kim Wilde.
Wow.
So that
new music
qualified for some bad music.
All right, I can see that qualifying as bad music. And I'm sure there's Boy George's relatives and Kim Wilde's kids who like that.
Well, they made great music back in the day, but nowadays they need to leave it to the young ones.
Yeah. However, look, do your thing. I mean, but don't tell me like I tell one of the thing I've probably said the most in all the years. I'm not gonna tell you how to be a fan. That's probably right. I've got a lot of things that I repeat. I understand that. I'm not gonna tell you what to like. Like what you like. Love who you love. I like do your thing, man. I'm not gonna tell you what. It might not be for me. I might tell you I don't like it. Right.
Yeah, there's music I won't listen to.
But whatever.
But if you want to bump that, if you want to roll the windows down on a nice summer night,
scream it in the
and
shower.
blare some Boy George and Kim Wilde, and you're enjoying yourself, more power to you.
No, knock yourself out. Dan wants to know Steph Cat Hama or Gato Estefe. Jeffrey Juan Jose no Gato Roberto. How come we went years with no acceptable nicknames for Joseph? Not Stop and Go Joe, not HR Tough and Stuff, not Grape Juice. Yet Stephanie has been on the show a month and she already has at least 3. Look, I don't know. I mean, HR Tough and Stuff had plenty of nicknames. He just didn't like any of them. He didn't accept any of them. Grape Juice was the best. Although HR Tough and Stuff was pretty good.
There were a lot that were fun.
Yeah.
It just did not stick
like Joey Skidmark. He didn't like when he was doing traffic.
I can understand why I wouldn't want that one.
Remember Joe Gonzalez stuff? Yeah, when he went to do he produced our show. They went and did traffic. Stop and Go Joey didn't like that. Joey Skidmark, not so much. All right, when we get back, I do want to get into the golf and Bryson and Brooks. We got sound from both of them. We'll get to your phone calls. I got more emails to get through as well. 505-246-0610. That's 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning. Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com, and on the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck. Albuquerque, New Mexico finally has a world-class memorabilia shop where you can go and get some incredible autographed memorabilia, sports memorabilia, music, history. It's honestly one of the coolest places I've been into. Entertainment stuff. And go in and pick your sport. You like racing? Go in and look at their website. It's allinautograph.com. Right now, you can go get a Mario Andretti program, a VIP pass, and it's incredibly affordable. How about horse racing? Mike Smith on Justify, autographed and framed picture. Or Lafitte Pinkai. Jeff Gordon signed mini racing helmet in there. Pick your sport. I mean, whatever it is. You're a tennis buff? Go in there, and there's the 1984 Tennis Open John McEnroe and Jimmy Connor photo with a piece of the court there. It is incredible. It's like a museum, and you can take some of it home. If you tell them that you heard about them on the opening drive, you will get $25 off a purchase of $100 or more. Go see All In Autographs at 2225 Wyoming Northeast. It's just south of Banal. You can call them at 505-504-7575 or look online at allinautograph.com. They got great things coming up, and listen to some of the great stuff that's going on there. So this is the month of July, and on the 22nd, card trading night from 6 to 8 over there. The next night on the 23rd, they'll have a Texas Hold'em night and a whiskey and wine tasting on the 24th. Next month, Lincoln Kennedy will be in for an appearance. Steve Garvey's coming in for an appearance. Nick Lowry, Tony Richardson. They've got all kinds of... Rick Barry, the former Warriors great, will be in as well. All In Autographs. Look at their website, allinautograph.com. Give them a call at 505-504-7575, and then go see them at 2225 Wyoming Avenue, Northeast, Suite F.
That's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there. Count, and this one's high. It's going deep, and it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra messed us with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
And he brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One 0 Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. Good over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken.
Pictures from Big 12 Football Media Day. You see that?
It's here.
Next, what day is today? Wednesday? I will be in Vegas for Mountain West Media Day. Wednesday and Thursday. It's dang. Like here we are, boys and girls. We're on it. 505-246-0610. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. I think you're always ready. I mean, to say, are you ready for football? I got both of my, well, both. I say like there's only two. Two of my fantasy football leagues yesterday reaching out. Are you in? Setting draft dates like already. Camp's open. Let's set draft dates. Let's set dates. Who are you keeping? What are we doing? Hey, do you want to pay early? Yeah, everybody wants to pay early. It's fantasy football time. Have you looked at your rankings yet? Have you started doing all that? It's time. 505-246-0610. Steph, do you play fantasy football?
No, I do not.
No. It's probably the best way to go is to not play fantasy football. It's the worst thing. And JJ is so sick of me every Monday or every free agent day. Dude, what do you think? This guy or this guy?
No, I'm right there with you. But I think I'm going to have to get Steph playing fantasy football this year.
I think that's right. Steph and Gato Roberto and whoever else is in here.
Right. That'll take me like a couple of months to try to study on everybody and how you do it.
Just play the numbers. Yeah, I gave a team. One year I had way too many teams, so I gave one to Addie and Audra, and they split it. Called it AC squared. They're both AC, and so it kept them interested for a minute on Sunday. And about week 5, I'm like, you set your lineups? Oh yeah, I'll get. So I'm not. Good thing I'd ask.
I think that's the hardest thing for new fantasy football players to get into is roster management. Yeah. You can pick the team, have a bunch of fun. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Oh, I know this guy's the high-profile running back. Yeah. But then you're like, waivers?
I gotta make moves every week? Oh, wait, my guy's injured, so what do I do now?
That's the hardest thing for new fantasy footballers to learn.
Yeah, my tight end's hurt, so do I get one or what? Yeah, no, I get it. Edward, good morning. What's happening?
Do you really want to hurt me?
I just got it literally. So my guy at the Big 12 Media Day, obviously listening to us on the Sports Animal app, who knew we had an app, who is listening to us at the Big 12 Media Day, and his response when I said, hey, can you get us a few interviews was, is Boy George still alive? I didn't know that. Like, who knew?
Yeah, that was a staple in our high school years, at the prom dances and whatever else we went to. So I'm with you. Whatever you want to do in life, do it to the best of your ability. Just don't be a burden on society.
That's all.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, if I don't want to be part of it, don't make me part of it. But go do your thing, man. Why am I going to shame you over the music you listen to? Come on now.
I get it. Hey, let me tell you, your and JJ's point on roster management. When I was in college, my boss that I worked for said, hey, Edward, college would be great and fun if you didn't have to go to class and take tests.
That's the truth. That is so truth.
It's an awesome place to be.
Yeah. Be like camp. Oh, wait, it was.
It was like camp.
Yeah.
Then in year 5, I got into my sophomore year.
Yeah, right.
Remember Dan Deerdorf was doing a Monday night football game.
Yeah.
And he's like, 4 years at the University of Michigan, the best time of my life. And then I got into my sophomore year.
Yeah, it's so funny. This is true. I tell San Diego State was 5 years of camp. It was amazing. Yep.
Oh, amazing. Hey, in our brief life, we've seen the best athletes, in my opinion, outside of Babe Ruth, right? But in basketball, the top 3 guys I've ever seen play, Kareem, Jordan, and LeBron, we've seen the totality of their careers. In baseball, we mentioned Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey Jr. We've seen them. And in football, we've seen the greatest player in the history of the league and all of Montana's career and, Deion Sanders and you can go down the list, right? Lawrence Taylor. I think if this baseball player, by the way, you saw the best hockey player in Gretzky, and then you can argue that Tiger Woods is the best ever. I think if this baseball player stays healthy for the Angels, I don't want to massacre his name, we may be seeing the best player in the history of the game. My understanding is he's already been under the Tommy John surgery, so maybe that's why it powered his arm and it's stronger now. I don't know, but time will tell. But we may be seeing the best player in the history of the game. It'd be fascinating to watch.
I would say tap the brakes on it. I would say maybe if you want to tell me one of the most interesting, one of the most exciting, one of the most intriguing, but I'm not ready to go best yet.
Sure. USA basketball righted the ship, but I was thinking about this, and I was listening to Coward yesterday, and if you put the best Americans up against the best non-American U.S. American, if you put them up, if you just look at the roster that the non-Americans would be, the last 3 MVPs of the league, the Greek Freak, and then the gentleman from the Denver Nuggets,
Jokic, Nikola Jokic.
The best young player in the game, Luka Doncic. He's clearly the best young player in the game. Siakam, Kyrie Irving's from Australia. Joel Embiid.
Ben Simmons, yeah.
Jamal Murray. I'm not sure if you played a 7-game series that the USA would beat. The US of A, US Americans would beat an international team in a 7-game series. But it's good argument and banter. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you this morning.
Thanks, man.
And I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Later. Yeah, I think Shohei's one of the most intriguing. I'm not ready to make him best yet.
And by the way, Kyrie Irving was born in Australia, but he plays for Team USA.
So, and I think he's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, he's a U.S. American.
Yeah, U.S. American. Hello, Rudolph.
Hello. So day before yesterday, about 5 in the afternoon, I get a email saying, come over to the pit and meet Drew Pearson.
I saw that.
And I was like, what? So I'm not going to miss that opportunity. I didn't realize he was in town doing this promotion for this new company that's getting on board with UNM. And so they had a reception over there, and I got to talk to Drew Pearson for a while.
Saw you wearing his
what
ring.
A story.
Yeah.
I mean, there were 549 players taken in 17 rounds of the NFL draft before a skinny kid from Tulsa was given an opportunity.
He's pretty good, though.
But, yeah, they saw something in him, and he saw something in himself. And while I was not a Dallas Cowboy fan, I have come to admire and respect those teams from that era because they played football the right way, and they were pretty darn good. So we're sitting there getting ready to take a picture, and he goes, "You want to wear my Super Bowl ring?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Of course I do." So I was teasing him. I said, you know, at the New Mexico Bowl, I've been able to meet Tony Dorsett, and I met Emmitt Smith before that, and I have pictures of them, and I need a picture of you. So I'm going to get that thing blown up and sent over to Drew and have him sign it. That way I have 3 of the Ring of Honor. And, of course, I do have actually 4 Don Perkins.
That's really cool.
That was a pretty good day. Under the radar is a term that's been used for recruiting for UNM for a while, but this Sobor kid, I've watched film of him.
Wow.
This is the real deal.
Feels like it.
This guy, I don't know who missed or why, but you got to take your hat off to Danny and Derek Warheim to get this kid. He's the #1 rated quarterback in the state of Arizona. And there's going to be a lot of Pac-12 teams that are going to go, where were you and why didn't you recruit this kid? He's got all the intangibles. He's an excellent student. He's got a great arm. I was watching some of his film. I mean, this could be the steal of all steals in recruiting in the last 10 years. This guy could be another Stoney Case.
We'll see. He's the top-rated quarterback out of Arizona. He had Ivy League schools after him and chose New Mexico over Northern Arizona and some Ivy League schools. And so you look at his numbers and you say, well, what did we miss? It feels like, remember Jordan Fine from North Texas a couple of years ago, who might have been a little undersized, was under-recruited, became the Conference USA Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year a couple of times. He's the quarterback that got hurt in the New Mexico Bowl in the first quarter when they played Utah State. It feels like that coming out of, he was coming out of Texas, and this young man's coming out of Arizona. What did we miss here? What did we miss? And then he becomes a really good college quarterback.
Absolutely, and I think if this kid works as hard as it looks like he's going to, and everything I've heard, and I got a chance to just talk to Danny for a second, he said, all I can tell you is read the paper tomorrow, but we got a really good one. So let's see what happens. But when you're getting the best player at that position out of the state of Arizona, you're doing something right recruiting. And I think that's the takeaway from all of this.
I think that's right. All right, Rudy, good to hear you. And it's a great point. I was going to get there. Thanks. And we'll get there. I want to talk more about that recruit because it just hearing him and looking a little bit of his tape reminded me, JJ, of Jordan Fine, who was a 2-time Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year. If you can get a guy like that, I think you did pretty well.
He did pretty well, and you want to jump up that recruiting list. You want to be a 5-star player in your life. Let me tell you about F45 functional training. Just 45 minutes, high-intensity interval training. Whether you're looking to kickstart your fitness or take yourself to another level, F45 is the gym for you. And that's one of the things I love about the gym. Not just that the workouts are great, but it is the atmosphere. And you see so many different people at different fitness levels, but it's comfortable. It's an environment that will allow you to get that comfort working out or challenge yourself to get to another level. The trainers are awesome. They're there to help motivate and modify if needed, and it's just 45 minutes in your day to get high-intensity interval training. Classes are fantastic. The different things you do throughout the week, the strength programs, resistance, cardio work, but you're doing full-body functional fitness, so it's never stagnant. You're never just doing one thing for 45 minutes. So check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can check out the Northeast Heights location, the schedule of classes, what the classes are all about. You can also sign up for your 7-day free trial. Get in and get going. Just 45 minutes, get a high-intensity workout, fast, fun, and results-driven. So check them out now. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Green and red chili breakfast burritos and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120 volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacalm.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Heart.
Animal. Sports animal. Carl's not all that impressed. Look, can I explain recruiting to you again? And Carl, I think you understand this. Braden Silbor, the young man who committed on social media, and it's in the paper today, from Chaparral High School in Arizona, the top-rated quarterback coming out of Arizona, committed to the Lobos, is not for this coming season. It's for he's a 2022 recruit, so he'll be next year's class.
According to the Arizona Republic.
What do you mean?
That's who says he's the top-rated.
Okay, right. But obviously, so everybody's got a list, right? Everybody's got their list, and we're going to get into another list here in a minute. Carl says, I thought Bear Milasek was the quarterback of the future. Jeff, I thought Timex Terry was recruited to get Lobo football through 2021 before handing the keys to Bear, and he might be. But have you watched this program go through 5 quarterbacks a year, 4 quarterbacks a year, 3 quarterbacks a year? You've got to have depth.
There's development, by the way. Redshirt years,
look,
etc.
CJ Ualangole was a highly recruited quarterback who went and played behind Trevor Lawrence, right? Mm-hmm. What are you doing? They've got Trevor Lawrence. Why are you recruiting another quarterback? Tua Tagovailoa played. Mac Jones played behind him. Well, Mac Jones, I mean, what's he doing? And then there was whoever was there before Tua. Like you keep recruiting this position every year. Ideally, you want a guy at every position in every class. Ideally, you want to be 4 deep in your program. You want a quarterback, a good senior, a junior, a sophomore, a freshman, and a redshirt. Ideally, and you want, and then you create competition. Guys, have you not watched guys come and go? I haven't seen. Well, I've seen Terry Wilson play. I have not seen Bear Milasek play. I haven't seen Braden Silbor play personally. I've read about him. I've seen him, and there's I don't know who I think is going to be the quarterback of the future. But I do know that this coach is going to bring in as much talent as he can and let him compete, and somebody's going to win on the field. I promise you that. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Bring them in. Everybody loves their list, JJ. You and I both found separately Pro Football Talk put out a list. And Pro Football Focus. They ranked all the quarterbacks, FBS quarterbacks, 1 through 130, the situation. And I don't know if they did this. It really feels like they did this as a pro prospect instead of quarterback, college quarterbacks.
But it comes across that way.
Well, they what? They did or
they didn't. But
see, then I think that it's wrong.
They use their the one thing with Pro Football Focus is what you have to realize is a lot of the work they do is analytics based.
Okay.
So which you see a list like this, it doesn't do a good job judging what a quarterback is asked to do for said team.
All right. The number 1 quarterback rated in the Mountain West Conference is 11th overall. It's Carson Strong. Look, I think we all believe Carson Strong's the best quarterback in this league. Right? I mean, he's a pro prospect. Carson Strong's the best quarterback coming back in this league. We agree?
Yes.
All right. After that, I think it's up in the air. They've got Jake Haener at Fresno State at 41 overall, and Nick Starkel from San Jose State at 43. I think Starkel was terrific. The fact that he's coming back and he led him to a championship, I would have Starkel at number 2. Would you not?
I would, and stay tuned for the rest of our list.
And where the Lobos fall on that. We're going to get into, I promise you're going to hear from Bryson and Brooks as the Open gets ready to start in a few hours now. But where Pro Football Focus ranks your quarterbacks and the rest of the league. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Alden's back. Josh was there for a minute. Alden's producing on the TV side. Stephanie never left us. That's right. She's always there. What time they call you, Steph? Let you know you're producing our show.
At 8 last night.
That's all right. You got plenty of time then. That's when they told me I'm in too. They never told me. All right. Glad you're here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One nothing Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. Good over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium. Your
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and JJ Buck.
Now, the list is fascinating from the national standpoint as well as the Mountain West standpoint, as well as New Mexico State as well. You might be surprised. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. It's list season. So what's your list of fantasy football prospects? Where's the list for top 20 running backs? Who's the best quarterback? Who's the best teams? What's your polls? Next week we'll get polls for the Mountain West Conference, the official conference polls, who's going to finish first and who's going to finish last, and they're never right. And who's the best quarterbacks? And so Pro Football Focus put out its list of 130 teams and their quarterback situation as we go into college football. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Alden steers the ship downtown on TV at ProView Networks. Stephanie steers the ship here at Radio Ranch, and you can call her at 505-246. So as we go into the conference or into the football season, Nevada's quarterback Carson Strong is the number one rated quarterback in the conference. I think that's a no-brainer. I think we all agree, right? Carson Strong is a pro prospect. He's ranked 11th overall in college football by Pro Football Focus, number one in the Mountain West. Jack Haener of Fresno State came in at 2 and number 41 overall, and Nick Starkel, number 3 in the conference from San Jose State, the defending champions, by the way. I think he's terrific, and I think he should be higher. This is where, JJ, I think things get a little wonky and underappreciated. Where's Chevin Cordero? Chevin Cordero is the returning starter from Hawaii who won the New Mexico Bowl, who has put up some big numbers. They have him 4th to last in this league. With all due respect, I do not believe Hawaii's quarterback situation is 4th to last in the Mountain West, and he's 93rd out of 130.
He's not.
The comment on him is Chambers, I'm sorry, Cordero split time the last 3 years as starter for Hawaii last year. He was top 3rd of every category within the league except for yards per attempt. The Warriors do lose a few key offensive coaches, but the spot for Cordero seems criminally low, and I agree with that. I don't get it. So who's Boise State will always be up there because they're Boise State. Now look, I think Hank Bachmeier and Jack Sears, the transfer from USC, I think they're in a great situation at quarterback, don't you? The two of them,
I do.
Boise State. This is a really good problem for them. Logan Bonner of Utah State comes in next. Justin Rogers of UNLV next. And then New Mexico situation. And this is where the whole list loses credibility to me. New Mexico is ranked 82. I believe that to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in the league. Tavaka Tuioti or Terry Wilson. What? Has Tavaka even been cleared from the concussion he suffered last November?
No, not that we know of.
All right. It says, seems like it should be Wilson's job to lose since he was the quarterback when Kentucky football actually had a good year, finishing 10-3, number 12 in the final AP poll. Since that 2018 year, he has not played as much due to a knee injury, but the talent is there. Tuioti has played a lot the past few years, but he's never really been able to elevate the Lobos. Played a lot. I mean, this is a Terry Wilson conversation. This feels low to me, but it's just a weird list. For whatever lists mean to you. What
you want the real list, Jeff?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Do you want the real list?
Let me finish this out for you, what they have. Sean Chambers at Wyoming, Chevin Cordero at Hawaii, Air Force's Zeke Daniels, Colorado State, Todd Centillo, and San Diego State situation last. By the way, where did the Aggies come in? Where do you think? I told you, but where would you have thought the Aggies come in?
Hundreds.
Because I was looking at the 120 level. They have New Mexico State situation at 91. After New Mexico, before Wyoming, before Hawaii. I mean, how is New Mexico State's situation with Weston Eget and Jonah Johnson? I sent those two names to you, and I could have asked you if that was the goalie combination for the Columbus Blue Jackets or the starting pitching rotation for San Diego State, or right? But that somehow came in above. So yeah, why don't you give me the real list?
The real list. Yeah. A Mountain West quarterback rankings. Actually knowing what these quarterbacks are asked to do in this conference. Carson Strong, I think, is the best quarterback overall, not just prospect-wise, but talent, ability, fit, and offense, number 1. Number 2 is Nick Starkel.
Yes.
If you did not like what you saw last year from Nick Starkel, you did not watch Mountain West football. Number 3 is Chevin Cordero.
See, I would go Boise State situation, maybe.
Chevin Cordero, what he does with his legs in that offense.
I love him.
He's the third best quarterback. Number 4 is whoever starts for Boise State.
Yeah, I would have flipped 3 and 4, but
Bachmeier and Sears are both very good starting quarterbacks. Sears last year just dealt with some COVID-19 issues. So whoever wins that job is in very good position. Number 5 is Jake Haener. Haener completed 64.7% of his passes last year. Really good touchdown interception ratio, 14-5. Good athleticism. I think he's solid. Number 6 is Terry Wilson. It's a credit from playing in the SEC. His experience, the talent that he has fitting into this offense in the Mountain West. There you go. Number 7, Hazik Daniels. Running the triple option offense at Air Force, hitting the big plays when they're there, being solid with his legs. Number 8, it's Sean Chambers, who missed the last season, so you could put even Levi Williams in this list, but Wyoming announced that Sean Chambers, coming back from injury, will be their starting quarterback. Again, it's what are they asked to do? Sean Chambers does not have a good completion percentage. The number's not great, but in that offense, it's about power football, being physical. Sean Chambers back in 2019,
just gotta stay healthy.
567 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns. That's what they asked him to do. Number 9, it's Logan Bonner. Who is he? Well, he's a transfer quarterback that's following Gary Anderson over to Utah State, played in the Sun Belt last year. Number 10, Justin Rogers for the talent. Is Max Gilliam still on the roster for UNLV? Because Gilliam, the Cal transfer, was their starter last year, so I think the UNLV quarterback situation is 10. 11, Lucas Johnson, if he can live up to that first half, the San Diego State quarterback that he played against Nevada for San Diego State. Talent. And then 12, it's Centillo at Colorado State.
So where'd you put New Mexico?
6.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with it. The only thing I might have done is flipped. And I love Chevin Cordero. I might have flipped. I think the Bachmeier Sears situation is really good. Cordero, I think, is really good too. At 3 and 4, who'd you have 5? Oh, you had Fresno State.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Dan, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Dan.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Greetings.
Greetings. How did Addie do last weekend?
She played well and had fun.
Nice. That's the important, bro.
Yep.
JJ, how's your boy doing?
He's doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. I just wanted to call you guys and let you know that I will keep you guys and your families in my prayers always.
Beautiful. No, appreciate that. Thank you, Dan.
You guys have a great day and take care of each other.
All right. Be well. Thank you.
Later.
505-246-0610 or 888-922-0610. All right, so that's your Mountain West football stuff. So where would you slide the New Mexico State situation into that?
I have no idea what that's going to look like. I need to watch them a little bit more.
Right?
Like, I have no idea what to think of the Aggies quarterback.
It's just so arbitrary. It's just so...
But I would not have them above Chevin Cordero. I would not. There's no way.
There's literally no way that you can do that. And I don't know. I guess, not that I watch everything, because I really don't. But I do watch a lot of this league. I do pay a lot of attention to this league. It is my business on two fronts. I think Chevin Cordero is terrific. And Jack Sears, I thought, was going to have a really good career at USC. I've watched Hank Bachmeier jump on the scene. I think Boise State's got an incredible situation. It says this is a good problem to have. Bachmeier started since he was a true freshman, played only a handful of games last year due to COVID. Sears had far fewer reps and played well, but it's hard to really compare him to Bachmeier. It'll be a competition to see who will be QB1. I got a guy who's been a starter since he was a freshman. I got a guy who was going to be the guy at USC. I love my conundrum there. Love it. Actually, I'm looking through the league now, and I just got excited more because I think there's 6. Let me go 7 really good quarterbacks. I mean, Strong's terrific. Haener and Starkel and Haener are really good. Whatever Boise State does, and Hawaii's situation is good. I think New Mexico's quarterback situation is good, and I like Hawaii's quarterback situation. I think there's 7 really good situations, don't you?
I do. I even push it to 8.
Who's next?
Well, because when you just factor in Wyoming and Air Force with what they ask their quarterbacks to do.
Yeah.
Now, you want to see in that Wyoming offense so a little bit more accuracy because it's more pro style than the triple option that you get in Air Force, but the athletic ability, the yards on the ground are there.
All right. Well, I mean, Air Force, yeah, I want to see what he does. Obviously, to run the option to see what he does and how he is. All right. When we come back, you're going to hear from Bryson and from Brooks. The Open is going on. What about their battle? What about them? What about what's going on there? But I'm going to tell you about American Financing, because buying a home right now is going to give you an opportunity to lock into some of the lowest mortgage rates in history. They'll get you pre-approved at American Financing so you can make an offer and do that with confidence. As more households shift to the new now, whether you're working at home or you're certainly spending more time at home, becoming a parent, isn't it, that space is an issue. Luckily, mortgage rates remain near record lows and makes a slightly bigger home much more affordable now. So whether it's your first home, your next home, or your forever home, even an investment home, American Finance is ready to help. This is what's beauty about making this phone call. Free pre-qualification. You secure the best rate, and they'll help you with everything else along the way. American Financing has you covered. So what are you waiting for? Rates are still low. There's never been a better time to make your move. Pre-qualify for free by calling 423-551-6525. That's 423-551-6525. Or visit them online, AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Telling you Pet second best friend. Visit ClarksPets.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
No, which TT is it going to be? BB? There's no way, he says, Lobo football can go with Tavaka Tuioti again, only to see him limp off the court again in the second game. No way, right? Not when you have Timex Terry in the fold. That's from Carl. I don't think Tavaka's in the conversation. When Danny was in here, he mentioned quarterbacks and didn't mention Tavaka or Brant Hughes.
No one's talking about Tavaka. It's just a case of his health. And it's unfortunate that he was in that situation, but he suffered a head injury, wasn't cleared, wasn't mentioned recently by the head coach. It's an unfortunate situation, but this is Terry Wilson's job to lose.
Yeah, I think to say no one's talking about Tavaka would probably be the reason people are talking about Tavaka is because here's a national story that's got Tavaka's name attached to it. Tavaka Tuioti or Terry Wilson. It's a pro football focused story that obviously didn't do the research, and that's where you just say, okay, that's why I'm not buying that they're 82nd and Chevin Cordero's 93. I just I get it's Oklahoma and Power Conference favorite as it should be, but with all due respect, I don't believe that, like for Hawaii, I do not believe out of 130 schools that there are 92 better situations than Hawaii's quarterback situation.